Here we go. So unless you're from outer space, you know that Jonathan Majors has been fighting a DV charge. And if you've been following my channel for any length of time, you've known I've done a bunch of videos on the topic. I'll post the link to the playlist in case you want to go back and view some of those videos. Please check them out, it's some of my best work. But I haven't made a video recently because there's been nothing to talk about. I believe the last time we got anything substantial was a story about his team releasing some video evidence. Since then, things have been quiet. But yesterday I got a DM from a brother on Instagram, and by the way, if you have any hot stories, please message me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. But back to what I was saying. The brother sent me an interesting article from the Insider magazine regarding Majors. I'll post the link in the description. But his attorney, Priya Chaudhry, is claiming racial bias on behalf of the New York Police Department. She argues that's the only reason this is all going to trial. Now the article is lengthy, so I won't be going through all of it, but there are a few things I'd like to highlight. So here we go.
Jonathan Majors appeared with his new girlfriend Megan Good Tuesday in a Manhattan courtroom, where a judge set an August 3rd trial date for his DV arrest that has grounded his skyrocketing movie career for the past 3 months.
Stop right there. I'm tired of hearing about that. If you've been following the entertainment media industry for any length of time, you know that they create these fake relationships. This stuff has been going on since the 1950s, primarily for the purposes of promoting movies or TV shows, but sometimes they do it to hide members of the Skittles community. Believe it or not, there was a time when telling people about your preference was bad for business, but now the opposite seems to be true. But in the case for Majors and Good, it's for PR purposes. You see, Majors needs the support of the black community if he is to redeem his career and curry favor in the court of public opinion, as there are some within the community that take umbrage with him dating a non-black woman. My point is, Good isn't his type. They're doing it for views, they're doing it for favor, because he isn't known for dating women like her. Now, I could care less either way. My motto is go for what you like, but stop with the fake. Anyway, back to the story.
His lawyer, Priya Chaudhry, told Insider that the star had hoped the misdemeanor charges would be dropped by Manhattan prosecutors, but she said that Majors was still eager to prove his innocence to a jury. Majors is known to movie audiences as the Marvel supervillain Kang the Conqueror, and also stars as a boxing prodigy in Creed 3, which was released in theaters early March and is his latest movie role. It was just 3 weeks later that Majors was arrested on suspicion of hitting his then-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, in a fight on a Chinatown street corner.
Wow, that right there is huge. They actually mentioned her name in the article. This is the first time I've ever seen her name posted anywhere. Typically in these types of high-profile celebrity cases, when a man is accused, the media keeps the female accuser anonymous, while the prominent man she's accusing has his name run through the mud. Continuing.
Jabari claims that Mr. Majors assaulted her in a car in Chinatown around 12 a.m. on March 25th. And during the incident, Mr. Majors broke her finger and lacerated her ear, Chaudhry wrote in a letter to Manhattan criminal judge Rachel S. Pauley that was released on April 8th. "We have proof this is a complete lie," Chaudhry told the judge, detailing a trove of defense eyewitnesses' interviews, phone records, credit card statements, and hours of surveillance and police body camera.
And these would be the photos, surveillance videos, and body cam footage his team released a couple of months ago that confirmed that she was not injured by Majors on the night of the incident. Anyway, continuing.
Chaudhry alleged in the letter that this evidence suggested that Jabari injured herself some several hours later after that midnight fight when Jabari took a fall while alone in Majors' penthouse apartment after drinking and taking sleeping pills. The evidence Chaudhry shared with Insider did not show how Jabari was injured or the entirety of the fight between Jabari and Majors that is at the center of the misdemeanor charges. It did, however, appear to support the lawyer's contention that Jabari's ear and finger went uninjured in the hours after the fight. Chaudhry continued in the letter that Jabari said, "I don't know," 19 times when asked by arriving medics and cops how she was injured, citing police body-worn camera footage taken at the penthouse and turned over to the defense by prosecutors. The letter alleges that NYPD footage showed the lead officer coaching Ms. Jabari to accuse Mr. Majors of...
Now, I covered this in the previous video. Little Miss Thang ran out and got white girl wasted after she accused Jonathan Majors of cheating on her and was texting and calling him all night long, sloppy drunk, and leaving threats. Basically, she was stalking him. But the day after, she didn't recall what happened, allegedly. Continuing with the article.
She said in the letter that the arrest was and showed the officers questioning among themselves how Majors, who they didn't recognize as a famous actor, could afford to live in a luxury penthouse. Chaudhry told Insider that all 6 of the responding officers were white.
Now that I definitely believe. Unfortunately, the majority of black wealthy class are athletes, entertainers, and public figures. And it's gotten to a point that people outside of the community think that's the only way we can get rich. The idea of a black man they don't recognize being in a luxury apartment is a concept they can't comprehend. Moving on with the article.
Even though Ms. Jabari admitted to drinking to the point of throwing up and taking sleeping pills and having no idea how she woke up in a closet with a cut on her head and injured finger, the police jumped to the conclusion that Mr. Majors, the tall, young, strong, rich black man, must have done this to Ms. Jabari, Chaudhry's letter alleged, citing the New York PD footage.
Now, she next brings up the impact the case has had on his career. I'm going to skip past that part because I've already made 2 videos on that topic. Again, both are in the playlist, but here are the thumbnails. So let's skip ahead and get back to the article.
Major's attorney said his arrest could make black men afraid to call 911. NYPD body camera footage captured Majors telling the cops who had arrived at his penthouse that he had not struck or injured Jabari, and that she instead had gouged his chin and arm with her fingernails as they fought on the street the night before ripping his $1,000 coat, Chaudhry said. They did not investigate, pursue, or care. Even after he showed them the damage to his face, arm, and coat, Chaudhry wrote in a letter to the judge. Why did officers instead believe Jabari, who at first could not remember what happened?
Now, this right here is a very real thing. She's not just talking just to be talking or spewing empty rhetoric to defend her client. We men have these conversations all the time. We talk and argue about it on social media. There are men who say whenever a woman gets aggressive, we should call the police. But there are other men who refuse to do that regardless of what a woman does. Because so many of us already know how it's going to end. Even if she's the aggressor, the police are going to assume we've done something wrong. Because women are rarely held accountable by the legal system. They're always assumed to be the victim. And oftentimes calling 911 can make things worse for us. Because in some municipalities, it's policy to make an arrest whenever the police are called. And the overwhelming majority of the time, it's the man who's arrested. Now, I don't argue either or. Me personally, I would call the police. But she's right when she says black men are concerned about this. And we are. But the point is, women know this. They know the system works in their favor, which is why they are inclined to be more aggressive with us, why they are often the initiators of DV. So it isn't a matter of could. Men, especially black men, are already hesitant to call the police when a woman gets violent. Hell, many of us are conditioned to accept it. So yeah, she's speaking facts here. But back to the article.
Major saved her life by calling 911, and they have falsely charged him with a crime, Chaudhry told Insider. Chaudhry wrote in court documents that officials had refused to prosecute Jabari on suspicion of assaulting Majors or in connection with the Rolex watches and diamond jewelry Jabari is accused of taking from the apartment. Meanwhile, they refused to prosecute her for allegedly assaulting him or for the Rolex watches or diamond jewelry she had alleged in court documents Jabari took from the apartment. It's heartbreaking that in 2023, a black man should still be afraid to call 911 even to save a life, the lawyer said. The sad truth of this story is that if you are a black man and there is a white woman who needs medical help, you should think twice about calling 911 because chances are you will be blamed and arrested. And everyone, despite the proof of a black man's innocence, will assume he did it, she said. And no one, despite proof of the white woman's crimes, will prosecute her.
Now, I'm going to stop right there and I'm not going to add too much to that. I'll remember to post a link in the description of the article. And feel free to read the rest. Like I said, it is a lengthy article. And I only highlighted the parts that I found important. And be sure to check out my previous videos. But I agree with most of what she said. The one thing she didn't mention was the court of public opinion. She's talking about the New York Police Department and the legal system in New York. But the media was quick to condemn Majors as well. From the very moment the story broke, before we had even heard his side, people just assumed he was guilty. Even when his team released the text messages from Miss Jabari, where she admitted that it was all her fault, people were still calling Majors and Ike Turner. The self-proclaimed Twitter psychologists were claiming it was evidence of a woman being controlled. Which is interesting when you put all of that in the context of what's happened to Ezra Miller. He continues to live his best life, even after all the stuff he's done, admitted, and apologized for. His movie The Flash was still released. There was even talk about it getting a sequel if it performed well in the box office. Fortunately, it isn't, but look at what happened to Jonathan Majors in contrast. He's been dropped from his talent agency, lost his movie roles, lost endorsements, and now there are even rumors of Disney replacing him as Kang in the MCU. Now, I hate to play the color card, but what else can you say? Anyway, that's all I have to say about it. What do you have to say about it? Leave a comment in the comment section and let's have a conversation. Okay, so you've heard me say this a million times. So if you like this video, please give it a like and leave a comment in the comments section and share the link on your social media platforms. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you'll get alerts every time I upload new content. This is the Layman's Journal. Thanks for stopping by. I'm out.
Hell! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
And while I do appreciate you sharing, subbing, and leaving comments, I'm going to ask that you take another step further in keeping the channel going. I set up a membership plan for those of you who would like to offer further support in the development of this channel. It's not anything expensive or special. I'm just asking for 99 cents a month, which is enough for me to continue doing the work that I do here.
Help me! Help me! Help me!
In the future, there will be additional tiers with added benefits, but for right now, I just need your support so that I can cover basic costs. So please, sign up so I can continue bringing you awesome content. This is the Layman's Journal. I'm out.